Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yama, and I'm going to go ahead and start with our opening puja. Om Sanavavatu Sanau Bunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvijavai Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let us all protect each other together. May all of us enjoy together. May all of us work together and let our study become radiant. And let there be no hatred between us. Om peace, peace, peace. Om Yama Dhamaraja Om Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Agyam Praticha Hom Sva. We ought to offer water for sipping. Om Yama Dhamaraja Om Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Padyam Praticha Hom Sva. We offer water for washing. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Saparivara Pushpe Praticha Hom Sva. We offer flowers. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Dupe Praticha Om Sva. We offer incense. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Aloke Praticha Hom Sva. We offer flame. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Navidye Praticha Hom Sva. We offer food. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Gande Praticha Hom Sva. We offer fragrance. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Shabda Praticha Hom Sva. We offer music. Om Yama Dhamaraja Machamunda Devi Sapadavara Puja Praticha Hom Sva. We offer our devotion. Jayama, Jayama, Jayama. Om Angrim Klim Chamundai Viche. Om Angrim Klim Chamundai Viche. Om Angrim Klim Chamundai Viche. Welcome again and namaste to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit. Thank you so very much for joining me for our Friday Puja and Satsang. And tonight is going to be a guided Yoga Nidra meditation based on Yama, Lord Yama, the god of death, and a visit to the underworld. I'd like to start out with a couple of announcements. So, first, this coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. will be our next installment of Kali for Everyone, and we'll be honoring Gauri Kali Devi. And then a week from today, also at 7 p.m., will be the next installment of our 64 Yogini series, and we'll be honoring Vayuvega Yogini. I'd also like to say namaste to those of you who are joining live right now, including Elizabeth and Kim, and anyone else who happens to be tuning in live at this time, and anyone who'll be watching the recorded broadcast in the future. So I'd like to begin with a short satsang, and the story I'm going to share with you comes from this scripture, the Katha Upanishad, very ancient scripture, and this is the key scripture to Lord Yama and visiting the underworld. It's about a young boy named Nachiketa, and Nachiketa is a very wise child. He's the son of a well-known priest in ancient India. And one day, while his father was getting ready for a very important puja ceremony, little Nachiketa kept tugging at his father's clothes and asking him, "Father, Father, which god should I give my devotion to? Which god should I serve? Which deity should I work with?" And finally, his father just lost his temper and said, "Oh, go to Yama." And little Nachiketa took his father at his word and proceeded to leave the village and went down into Yamaloka, the underworld. And there he ultimately became the student of Lord Yama. And the story goes he travels down to the underworld. He sits there at the gates of Yamaloka. This is the place where souls go to rest and sometimes process various karmas before reincarnating. So Nachiketa is sitting there at the gateway to the underworld. In the meantime, there are these souls trying to pass into the underworld, and he's in the way. They're tripping over him, getting really annoyed with him, but Nachiketa still stays there waiting to be admitted. Then when he's finally admitted, he gets tempted with the usual things that spiritual leaders tend to get tempted by: worldly power, unlimited wealth, all of the earthly delights. He's still not distracted by those things. And finally, Lord Yama takes him as his student. And he then proceeds to teach Nachiketa the learning of the scriptures. He learns various puja and devotional practices, and he brings that knowledge back to this world. And the opening verse that I shared with you, this is sometimes referred to as the peace mantra. Om sa na bhavatu sa nao banaktu sa viryam kadavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvijavahai om shanti shanti shanti. This is both the opening and the closing verse to the Katha Upanishad. So I want to say a little bit about what we have on our altar. This is who I've been honoring all this week, Lord Yama. This is really his Nepali and Tibetan form. So he's shown with the head of a buffalo, and he's also standing upon his mount, which is a buffalo. And this is a symbol of both strength and transformation, especially the strength that we need to get through the changes that occur in our lives. There, he's surrounded by the four directional dakinis. He is holding a mace, in this case, one that looks very much like a human skeleton. The mace may also look like this instrument, a katvanga, which has three heads upon it, one which is freshly cut, another which is in a state of decomposition, and a third completely skeletonized. I'll get that a little bit closer to the camera so you can see that. And his mace or his club or skull staff, in this case again called a katvanga, this represents the destruction of ignorance. The other thing that we see Lord Yama holding is a coil of rope, and this is for the binding of ignorance. And Yama also uses the rope to pull souls from the body at the time of death. And we see him here with his consort, Ma Chamunda, the emaciated skeletal, really the oldest form of Kali. And she is holding a trident, and the trident is associated with cutting through attachments and also cutting through our fears. And she's holding also a kapala like this one, an offering bowl made from a human skull from which the two of them are drinking. And then the buffalo is standing upon a corpse, which appears to be reviving. And that corpse is essentially us. We are essentially dead till we allow that divine energy to touch our lives. And also the fact that he is on top of the corpse. This represents the transcendence over our greatest fear, and really the fear from which all our other fears and insecurities stem, and that's our fear of death. So tonight's meditation will be based again on this particular deity archetype, also known as Kalarupa, the embodiment of time, the embodiment of darkness, the infinity of space, and also the darkness of the soil from which all things come and all things have to return to. And he's also known as Dharmaraja, the upholder of Dharma. And as is illustrated in the Katha Upanishad, death, and also the changes in our lives, those little deaths that we go through throughout our lives, those are the most powerful teachers in our lives. And so Yama himself is the most renowned of gurus. So welcome again, and I think you'll enjoy our Yoga Nidra meditation very much. I invite you to get your mats out and your props together, and go ahead and bring yourself into a comfortable position where your back can be straight. Tonight's meditation can be done lying down in Shavasana. That's the most typical position for Yoga Nidra, but you can also do this as a seated meditation as well. Seated in a comfortable position, maybe on your mat with a cushion under your hips. Maybe roll the shoulders back to open the chest so your breath can be full and deep. And if you're sitting in a straight back chair with your feet flat on the floor, will also work, and your hands resting comfortably in your lap. But I invite you to find that comfortable position, have whatever props you need around you, maybe a blanket to keep warm with, maybe a cloth or an eye pillow to have over your eyes. That helps to trigger the relaxation response. Maybe some kind of support under your knees or something, a pillow behind your head to keep the airway open. That can be helpful as well. But take a moment and find that initial meditational position. And once you're there, I invite you to think about some fear within your life. something that restricts you from expressing your full potential. This fear could be the result of some traumatic event in your past or a concern about the future, or just any fear that stands in the way of you trying something new or exploring some new horizon. And maybe even something just coming up from your subconscious that isn't necessarily rational, maybe something you don't completely understand even. But notice the first fear that you can think of. This will be the best thing to work with at this time. And try to visualize that fear. What does it look like? Is there a memory that comes with it? Or an image of something in the future? And begin to notice any messages that it may be telling you. Maybe a statement like, you're not good enough, or you're not capable, or you lack the talent, or you can't do that. And then also try to notice what emotions might accompany your fear. And continue breathing deeply and begin to check in with your body. And try to notice if there's a physical region where that fear resides. It might be manifesting as some kind of physical tension, or an area that feels empty or cold, or just somewhere that your awareness is being drawn to. Just honor what manifests. And now that you've identified the fear which you're going to work with, I invite you to take a deep and clearing breath. And let your eyes be closed, your breath deep and slow. And once more, we honor the upholder of Dharma. Om Yamaya Hum Pe. Om Ahom. We prostrate to you, O Yama Kalarupa, Dharmaraja Vajrabhairava, Supreme Form, Supremely Great, Furious One, Hero with the supreme object of enjoyment. You act to tame those things which are difficult to subdue. Om Kalarupa Hum Pe. Om Kalarupa Hum Pe. Om Kalarupa Hum Pe. And prepare for Yoga Nidra. Lying down comfortably or sitting up supported. Take a moment and make any adjustments or micro adjustments you might need so that you're fully comfortable for tonight's practice. Making any final adjustments to your props or your position. And I invite you to take a deep breath and let it out with a sigh. And settle in even further. And then take a second deep breath and exhale and let go. And let's do this one more time. Deep breath. Letting go and achieving even a deeper state of relaxation. Getting ready for this Yoga Nidra practice that will take you on an inner pilgrimage to the realm of your Lord Yama, the Lord of the Underworld and the upholder of Dharma. And in the spirit of this sacred journey, treat your body with reverence as you are setting yourself up for this practice. Listening now with care and reverence, and offering your body anything it needs at this moment. Listening carefully, honoring your body and what it's telling you. And then I invite you to ask your body if it's completely comfortable. And then make any final adjustments. Breathe deeply, keeping your eyes gently closed. And as you breathe, feel your body begin to further release into comfort. Your body fully supported and effortlessly dropping into a state of peace and relaxation. Your body effortlessly dropping into a state of non-doing. Letting go of doing, shifting into being. And remembering that there's no right way or wrong way to do this practice, that whatever you experience tonight will be uniquely your own and what you need at this moment. And noticing the sensation of your body releasing tension in the shoulders, releasing tensions in the back, releasing tensions in the arms, the legs, completely releasing tension. Your body is still and at ease. And resting and breathing, still and peaceful. Your body rests while your awareness continues on. Becoming aware of the soft sounds of the body breathing itself. Just effortless breathing, effortless awareness. not doing, just simply being. Awake, aware, effortless. And know that the process of Yoga Nidra has now begun. So now it is time to allow your sankalpa, your personal intention for this practice, to arise within the realm of awareness. Just remember the fear that you explored earlier, its visuals, its messages, its emotions, and physical sensations. And then try to imagine what it might look like to have this fear removed or transformed into a form of self-assuredness. And try to be aware what messages come to you as you think of this. What would overcoming this fear feel like on an emotional or physical level? And allow the feeling of your sankalpa to arise. And once again, try to vividly see your sankalpa manifested. And feel your sankalpa manifested. And I invite you to silently express your sankalpa for overcoming this fear into a short sentence, one that can easily be remembered. And now repeat your sankalpa with joy 3 times, silently, in your mind. And know that with certainty that your sankalpa is now stored within you like information in a computer. Your whole being is now following its directions, conspiring to create beautiful and new realities with every moment, both during this practice and in the days beyond. And now we will move our awareness through our bodies from one point to the next, experiencing energetically awareness moving freely without attachment or judgments. Let's begin with effortless awareness of the point between your eyebrows, your third eye center. Effortless awareness of the point between your eyebrows. Then moving freely to the hollow of the throat. Now the right shoulder joint, right elbow joint, right wrist joint, right thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger. Then experiencing energetically the right wrist joint, right elbow joint, right shoulder joint, hollow of the throat. And now moving over to your left shoulder joint, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger, back up to the wrist joint, left elbow joint, left shoulder joint, hollow of the throat, heart center, right side of the chest, heart center, left side of the chest, heart center, navel center, lower abdomen, the right hip joint, the right knee joint, right ankle joint, right big toe, tip of the second toe, tip of the third toe, tip of the fourth toe, tip of the fifth toe. Then back up to the right ankle joint, right knee joint, right hip joint, and sweeping your awareness to the left hip joint, left knee joint, left ankle joint, left big toe, tip of the second toe, tip of the third toe, tip of the fourth toe, tip of the fifth toe. Then back up to the left ankle joint, left knee joint, hip joint, lower abdomen, navel center, heart center, hollow of the throat, eyebrow center, eyebrow center, eyebrow center. And begin to feel as if you are breathing in and out through your third eye point between your eyebrows. Effortlessly breathing in and breathing out the point between your eyebrows. Breathing in and out the point between the eyebrows. And know that this is the gateway of knowledge, of intuition, and divine wisdom. And just let yourself be aware of any subtle sensations you might be experiencing. Breathing in and breathing out of the point between the eyebrows. So now I invite you to allow your awareness to travel onward, embarking on a sacred pilgrimage to the realm of Lord Yama Dharmaraja, the destructive function of Lord Shiva, the remover of fears, and the giver of knowledge. Taking a sacred journey to honor the Lord of Death, a place where you will feel truly connected to his awe-inspiring power, the realm of Yamaloka in the Underworld, a place for him to share with you his teachings. So now prepare yourself to travel to this special place below the earth's surface. But before you go, if it feels right, I invite you to choose an offering to bring with you. Something special you'd like to take on your spiritual pilgrimage to give as an offering to Lord Dharmaraja. It might be an item, a favorite food or beverage, your favorite flower, a promise, or a prayer. So if you'd like, take a moment now to choose a heartfelt offering to take with you on your sacred pilgrimage. And now you're embarking on the journey, carrying a small basket with you, with your personal offering for Lord Yama. And see yourself traveling to his sacred site, the realm of death preceded by rebirth. You can travel any way you like. And as you travel, let yourself notice the sights along the way, the sounds, the scents. Vividly experience your journey to Yama's sacred site. Om Surya Putraya Vidmahe Makalya Dhimai Tano Yama Prachodayat. Om Surya Putraya Vidmahe Mahakalya Dhimai Tano Yama Prachodayat. Om Surya Putraya Vidmahe Makalya Dhimai Tano Yama Prachodayat. And if you haven't yet arrived at your place of pilgrimage, now is the time to arrive. You come to an opening in the earth, dark and formidable. At first you feel reluctant to step into the darkness, but you take a deep and clearing breath. And letting go of your fears, you step into the cave. And before you is a long passageway illuminated by ghee lamps and glowing crystals. You proceed down the passageway slowly, observing its details. The walls of this passageway are lined with stacks of skulls and bones of every kind of living creature, like a catacomb below a medieval city. And finally, you arrive in Yamaloka, the Underworld, where the dead rest between incarnations, sometimes processing karmas from their previous lives. And as you arrive, you are awestruck. It is dark, but illuminated by lamplight. And you are standing in a vast underground chamber. It is somewhat cold, and there's a feeling of stillness and silence. And as you walk toward the center of this space, a long, narrow trail, you notice on either side the dead at rest. They appear to be sleeping and motionless, but some move while they dream, some making sounds, while they unconsciously process the debts of past karmas. And as you walk along this path, you may notice somebody you knew in the past, someone who recently left their body and are awaiting rebirth. You try not to let these sights distract you from your personal pilgrimage. And there's a haze of smoke in the air created by the burning lamps, carried by a gentle current of air. Here, the rustling of the occasional dreamer and the cave dwelling, a creature, bat, insects, or something unknown. Just notice the light and the colors. Notice any faint sounds. Notice any sense. Notice any sensations, thoughts, or emotions. As you reach your destination, you begin to see Lord Yama, Dharmaraja. He stands upon a black buffalo who is crouched upon the body of a person, seemingly dead, but suddenly reanimated, his or her eyes opened by the sudden gaining of knowledge. Lord Yama is naked, his lingam erect. He has the body of a man but the head of a buffalo, wearing a golden crown decorated with 5 human skulls. In his right hand, he holds aloft a club made from a human spinal column tapped with a skull, with which he destroys ignorance. In his left, he holds a coil of rope for pulling souls from the bodies. He also wears a necklace of freshly cut human heads. And he is joined by his consort Machamunda. Her skin is smoky black, her body gaunt. She has long unbound hair and wears the same skull crown and severed head necklace. She is offering a drink of blood from her skull cup, and her other hand holds a trident. They are both surrounded by a flaming arch of enlightenment. And take a moment and again notice any thoughts, feelings, or emotions associated with their presence. And Lord Yama now calls to you and gestures for you to approach. And you walk towards him so that you can receive his wisdom and his blessings. You approach closely and know this is the moment for your offering. So if you have brought an offering, take a moment now with great reverence to make your offering to the upholder of Dharma. And feel the joy of having given your offering and the joy of knowing that it has been received. And again, take a moment to notice anything in your realm of awareness that is manifested as you have given your offering. Sights, sounds, messages, thoughts, feelings. Lord Yama now signals you to come even closer so that he can place the top of his skull staff upon your heart center. And with the cold skull upon your heart, you can feel your fear exiting your body, absorbed by the Lord of the Underworld's presence. And notice how you feel to have had this fear removed. What thoughts or emotions accompany this feeling? And you take a moment to express gratitude for this precious opportunity to connect with the divine upholder of universal law. And now, with Dhamaraja's skull staff still upon your heart center, you close your eyes and take a very deep breath. And suddenly you have become Lord Yama. You stand upon a black buffalo who is crouched upon the body of a person, seemingly dead, but reanimated, his or her eyes opened by the sudden gaining of knowledge. You are naked, your lingam erect. Your body is human, but you have the head of a buffalo wearing a golden crown decorated with 5 human skulls. In your right hand, you hold aloft a club made from a human spinal column capped with a skull, with which you destroy ignorance. In your left, you hold a coil of rope for pulling souls from their bodies. You also wear a necklace of freshly cut human heads, and you are joined by your consort, Ma Chamunda, her skin smoky black, her body gaunt. She has long unbound hair, and wears the same skull crown and severed head necklace. She is offering you a drink of blood from her skull cup, and you hear, and her hand holds a trident, and you are both surrounded by a flaming arch of enlightenment. At this time, allow yourself to become fully aware of your experience of being Lord Yama, the upholder of Dharma, Lord Shiva's destructive function, but also the greatest of gurus. Notice any physical sensations that accompany this transformation, any emotions, messages, or flashes of insight. And just be with the experience and everything it offers. Yamadeva Dharmaraja Mrityu Antika Vaivasvata Kaladeva Sarva Pranahara Yamadeva Dharmaraja Mrityu Antika Vaivasvata Kaladeva Sarva Pranahara Yamadeva Dharmaraja Mrityu Antika Vaivasvata Kaladeva Sarva Pranahara. You now take a deep and clearing breath, and suddenly you transform back into yourself. You see Lord Yama's face smiling with approval as he gestures to you to come even closer. And at the top of the skull staff, Yama now places a vajra, a diamond crystal of wisdom light, into your heart center, so that it occupies the space that once held your fear. Feel that presence within you. And again, take notice of any feelings or insights. This divine presence now exists as a small golden light, ready to guide you towards your full potential. And you give gratitude to Lord Yama Dharmaraja once more from deep within your heart for the opportunity to be heard and receive guidance, or simply being there, feeling the presence of the divine. And finally, before you go, Take a moment to share your personal sankalpa, your intention from deep within your heart. Repeat your sankalpa in the presence of the Lord of the Underworld's holy presence, in his sacred place 3 more times with full feeling and awareness. And know that at this point that your sankalpa has been blessed by divine grace through this practice. And feel the gratitude swell from deep within your heart. And now, before you leave this sacred place, find a place to sit for a moment in quiet reflection. And allowing your awareness to travel deep into your heart center, deep into the sacred cave of your heart. Traveling deep past the emotional heart, deep into the peace of the spiritual heart, and experiencing that same divine presence within yourself, tranquil, calm, and comforting. The cave of your heart, the sacred cave of your heart, like the cave of the underworld, effortless, peaceful, illuminated by lamplight, resting here in full awareness. Om Mam Yamaya Nama. And know now that it's time to leave Lord Yama's sanctuary, Yamaloka. You take a deep breath and say farewell, bowing to the divine Lord of Death, taking the positive memories of your experience with you. And know that you can return to this sacred place again and again, any time that you would like. And see yourself traveling away from the realm of Yamaloka and back through the dark passageway, returning to the earth's surface. And now returning to where you started your journey. Again, you can travel in any way you like. And once again, notice the sights along the way, the sounds, the scents, the sensations, and feelings. And vividly experience your journey of returning back now to your resting body. Om Yamaya Nama. Om Yamaya Nama. Om Yamaya Nama. And if your awareness hasn't yet arrived back in your body, back in the room from which you came, now it is time. Your awareness returning back to your room. Awareness coming back into your body. Beginning to notice sensations in your physical body. Notice your chest rising and falling with each breath. Feeling your chest rising and falling with each breath. The process of Yoga Nidra is now complete. So I invite you again to take a deep and clearing breath and begin to notice the sensations of coming back into your body. And when you can, begin to slowly move your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet, your arms and legs. Maybe give a little stretch. Just feeling the awareness of coming back into your body. And then if you're lying down when you're ready, carefully and slowly roll over onto one side. And just resting on your side, taking a few more deep breaths. And if you'd like, I invite you to mentally repeat your sankalpa one last time. And know that it's already manifesting in your life. And feel it filling your whole being. And remember your sacred pilgrimage and any guidance, experiences, or reflections that you had that you'd like to carry forward with you. And keeping your eyes closed if you can. If you're lying down, I now invite you to carefully engage your hands and your arms to press yourself back up into a seated position. And take a couple more deep breaths. And then we'll finish chanting Om Shanti 3 times. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let yourself carry any positive feelings from your heartfelt pilgrimage with you from this point on. And slowly bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. And take a moment to give gratitude to the divine, especially that divine presence within yourself, knowing it is there to guide you always, teaching you, healing you. And take a moment to give gratitude to yourself for taking part in this practice, knowing you can replay this broadcast at any time and do this meditation again when you have need. And finally, slowly opening your eyes. And namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me. Yama, Yama. Jayama, Jama, Jama, Jama. Thank you, and namaste. So I hope that you enjoyed this practice this evening. And I'd like to especially say thank you to um, Elizabeth and Kim and anyone else who is joining live and anyone who'll be watching the recording in the future. As always, I would advise you to take some time for just some quiet contemplation before resuming the day or the evening's activities. Also, I invite you to look for the subtle changes that may occur in the next few days as a result of tonight's practice. Some interesting dreams, some interesting flashes of insight, maybe handling a situation differently than you might have before. But just appreciate those subtle changes. It might even be the right person coming along to tell you something you need to know, or even the right book falling into your hand. And I look forward to you joining me on Tuesday when we honor Gauri Kali, the goddess of both lightness and darkness. And once again, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di. Have a wonderful night, have a wonderful weekend ahead. Jai Ma, and thank you once again.